for CommuniCity project. So we'll start with the agenda, just browsing that through. So Silja, if you are kind to let us see that. So first, we already did the welcome and introduction rounds. And next, we have an overview of the CommuniCity project and next round of open calls. Then we have an overview of CommuniCity technical framework, Porto experience, so some examples from there. Then we have our learnings from the first and second CommuniCity open call rounds, and we end up with nice pilot case examples from the previous rounds. And in the end, as mentioned, we have a Q&A session. So Josephine, are you able to walk us through the CommuniCity project, introduce the open call shortly? So floor is yours, Josephine. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Anne-Mari. Hello, everyone. I am afraid I will not be able to stay for the whole call, and I apologize about that, but we are all in Rotterdam to actually promote the CommuniCity project, and so I'm sorry, but I will not be able to be with you for the whole time. Now, thank you very much for the introductions, Anne-Mari, and as she was saying, you know that we have CommuniCity is a project that is a support action project. Our main goal, as you all know, is to deliver 100 pilots that include AI solutions, digital solutions. Now, we have already run the first and the second round. I'm just going because I can't see the slides, so I'm just going, so stop me if I'm saying anything wrong or different slides. We are 12 partners, and what we try is to deliver and to promote technologies for the marginalized communities. Now, the first round, as you may know, was all about the three main pilot cities, then other cities added during the second round, like Tallinn, Breda, Aarhus, and Prague. And then now, starting the third round, we decided to open to all European Union countries. Like the third call is going to be published on the 10th of September. So what we did, together with Forum Virium, Porto Digital, and all the cities and the consortium, was to try to organize info sessions and webinars and one-to-one meetings to explain into details what we are going to do, deadlines and concepts, and just going through the different stages of the third round. Is there anything else that I can't see any slides at the moment? So I don't know if Anne-Mari, if you can just give me an idea of where we stand.
I think you gave really nice overview of the project, and the next slide is actually about the third open call, and I think you covered that quite nicely.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I just wanted to add that we are trying to cover as many areas of Europe as possible. We work with AI, fair AI, ethical. We do take into account ethical, and it is ethical also to include every area, because our main goal is actually to help. I mean, regardless how much resources or digital skills or anything the cities have, we will work with all of them and make sure that we cover as many European areas as possible. So that was our first goal to start with.
Yes, and we are aiming up to 62 pilots for this final round, and each of the piloting teams is granted with a 12,500 grant. So that is the funding available for the piloting teams.
Yes. So why should I think it is, why should cities and associate? Oh yeah. Well, we said that basically our main goal, as I said, is to deliver 100 pilots, but at the same time, the very important thing is that each city, each challenges each pilot will produce results, and those results will be available for other cities, will be replicated and scalable. And also you will have the chance to use our technical tools and to improve your knowledge of marginalized communities. You will have access to our training session, and you will get familiar with all the processes of the open calls. So it is really an added value. You solve the problem, but of course we can co-creation and co-learning. Those are the very important words on this project.
So Celia, maybe the next slide. And would you like, Josephine, me to go through the supporting activities if you cannot see that well?
You supporting activities, that's fine. I don't need to have a slide. Supporting activities, right. So what we have agreed with the cities, and is obviously we want to help you and guide you through the whole process, because we don't want the cities to just apply. We want to guide them, and we want to give the right information, and we will hold seminars, webinars, info sessions where you will be able to ask or to find out or about information from us, but even maybe from other cities. It will be a very good opportunity to network and maybe compare with other cities. You can get ideas, and we will be helping you in formulating the challenge, or to finalize it, if you like. And again, you will be able to use our technical framework, our expertise, and working for OWASC, you will be able to learn about the MIMS as well, which is the minimal interoperable mechanism, which, the tech guys, Adib and Giuseppe, will take you through that. But this is how we'll be supporting the cities along these months, before the publication of the call, and then afterwards we will make sure to advertise the call, to involve technical partners that will apply to solve your challenge and to propose a technical solution.
Yes, thanks, Josephine. And there are also open call manuals available. We will be sharing you with the links. And there is also Amsterdam workshop where we would like to invite you. It will happen June 27th to 28th, and there is the registration link as well. So in case you are wondering if you would like to join the third open call, so here is one more carrot for you. You can join the Amsterdam workshop, kind of integrate to our nice CommuniCity family, get new contacts, and also join for the field trips we have aligned for the Friday 28th. And you are able to actually join online as well. But maybe the next slide, we are actually in a bit hurry in order to get to the technical framework, since HaDEA has a limited timeline. So I give floor to HaDEA and Giuseppe now.
Thank you very much. So as Josephine was explaining, we have some supporting tools or elements that we are working on. One of them is a technical framework and specifications that we are providing. So basically, in a general term, what we are talking about here is to have some specifications, software approaches, to support the design and development of the innovative solutions. So basically, when the developers are working on something, they would have at their disposal some tools in order for them to process data, in order to use AI. So we have some packages already done. And with this, it will enable interoperability, replicability between cities, and having everything standardized. So basically, we have three main elements, which is the first, the reference architecture, which are the MIMS and the specification APIs, which Josephine talked a little bit about. We will have also the toolbox, which have some components about AI. And we have the sandbox, which is a place where we could test our tools or solutions and to see if they are compliant with the specifications. Yeah, so basically, in general terms, we have the developers that are creating the solutions. They will provide like some services, platforms, applications, or and so on. If they are compliant with the MIMS, MIM 1, 2, up until MIM 5, for example, they will have a set of specifications, APIs, which all the city data could enter over there, and they could standardize them in a manner that could be interoperable between cities. And they could use the toolbox as well, which is a set of specifications compliant already with the MIMS, which are based on AI. For example, you have face recognition and so on. And this is an open source, so basically people can also upload more things if they are using another AI that is not already implemented in the toolbox. And everything can be deployed inside the sandbox, which is the testing services that we are providing. And then, as you can see on top, it can be replicated for all the cities, whatever the solution is. Next slide. So yeah, basically the toolbox. We have a platform now. We have all the description over there. I'm not going to bore you with the details because this is a little bit more for the developers and who will actually apply for the technical solution. But yeah, you have the documentations, you have everything over there, a step-by-step guide, and you have several assets or tools that people can use. For example, as I said, face detection, gender and age identification. You also have live translation. So these kind of basic AI tools are already open source and available for the developers. So they can use it right away. Or if they are using, for example, something else that is not already found over here, they could just implement it inside the toolbox. So the toolbox will always grow and always be available for everybody, basically inside the European Union and for the rest of the world. Next slide. So the sandbox. In short, it's a cloud environment to test the compliance of the services and the specifications of developed pilot. So it's basically a step-by-step guide in order to help people understand the specifications and implement the tools from the toolbox. And it offers a safe environment. And with that, we mean the data of the city can be manipulated, can be reproduced, copied, or whatever we want to do with them without actually affecting the actual data or the real-time data, because it's just a copy of the data in a virtual environment. And yeah, it's, as I said, validating the compliance. So the pilot will have access, will have also support system, and they could implement everything inside the toolbox. They could visualize what they are doing, and we could also give feedback on what they are doing and to have our input as well. So basically, in short, this is the sandbox. And if we could move next. So in general, in the third round, we are really eager to have some AI solutions. And of course, they should be compliant with the MIMS as well. And with that, we are aiming to have smarter solutions and applications that are more efficient, more effective on the city level. And with AI tools, we are trying to solve these complex challenges based on data, based on standardized methodologies, and it facilitates any solutions to be from one city adopted and just change the data to be implemented in another city. And it's something innovative. AI, as you all know, it's the present and the future. So we are really encouraging people to use AI. And with the data-driven insights, as we did here in the city of Porto to identify the challenges, if you could move to the next step. Just to end up, this is the support system we have. So basically, our technical teams from Porto Digital and from engineering have a support system, so they could just send an email for us or something, and we could just assist them on how to use these tools and everything. So yeah, I will give you an example afterwards, and from Porter's experience. So basically, using these technical tools, we already had some solutions, but in order to also identify the challenges, we went data-based in the first round. So we identified the area, and in that area, we saw which is the characteristic of the population. And based on the data that we have over there, we had a lot of elderly people, and then we dug deeper into the data and we identified that we have two major problems within the elderly community. We have the people that are outside included in the digital transition, and they are isolated in their homes. And we had also the health issues. So we had two major problems. So with that data-driven challenges, we then saw how to organize the challenges and launch them in the first call, and then have pilots to actually answer the needs of the population. And then we made some matchmaking in order to find host partners and associations in order to implement and work with these groups. So some examples that I will give in the next slide. Yes. So this is one of the examples. So it's the piloting team was Fraunhofer, and it was like daycare center for elderly people. So as I said, we had a lot of elderly people, and most of the population is over 65 years old, and they have a really big digital gap. So the piloting solution was teaching them how to use smartphones and adapt some applications for them to communicate with their families, and in order also to play some games and to improve their mental capabilities. So yeah, we had a team, we co-created the solutions because we had something in mind at the beginning, is to, okay, we have some applications, we have some devices, let's give them to the elderly people and they will learn. But we found that they are really like, they have no digital knowledge. So we co-created the solutions, we taught them everything. And it was a really 6-month intensive process with them, which resulted with them connecting with their families, and now they know how to use these digital tools. The next pilot that I would like to share with you is one based on WeSolve. So it's a platform that was implemented inside a cerebral paralysis association in Porto. And with that, the target group was a little bit different this time. Although they are elderly people, but they have special needs. So this platform was based on AI, so it was also MIM compliant. It helped the healthcare providers to deal and create activities for these specific people, and in order to include them. So in this solution, we did the inclusion and also provided the healthcare opportunities for these people. And the third one is about also, it's the same cerebral paralysis center, but we installed some devices that are sensors without any cameras. So we took care of the privacy and we didn't have any problems with that. And it was just monitoring people when they are isolated in their rooms at night, for example. So it's a 24/7 monitoring system. And it gives some notifications for the healthcare providers, like, okay, there were some strange movements, and it's also based on AI because we taught the system how to deal with this specific people, because their emotions and their activities are not the normal activities that people do, like elderly people, for example, but it's kind of different. So we adapted the system for the environment. So basically, these are some examples from Porto that we did. And we used, of course, the technical framework in order to help this, but we also based our solutions on co-creation as well. So I think from my side, that's a wrap. I don't know if Giuseppe wants to add something from the technical specification. If not, I will leave the floor for the next speaker.
Thank you, Adib. Perfect, complete presentation. Thank you.
And if you have any questions, you can ask them during the Q&A session. So actually, it's my floor now. I will share you with some learnings from the first and second open rounds by HaDEA. Thanks for the presentation. So some learnings from Helsinki and in general, how to formulate a good challenge. So firstly, you have to use time and effort to do this and formulate the challenge carefully and try to find the ideal scope. So not too wide that you get too many applications, but not too narrow either, that you get only few applications, or there is a risk that you don't get any. And secondly, also define target group or groups carefully and ensure that they are involved during the piloting phase. So in other words, you have to make sure that the pilot host is able to provide the test users for the piloting team in order them to be able to co-create together with these marginalized groups. And thirdly, find these pilot hosts and also ensure their commitment as well as resources, meaning money, time, personnel to run the pilots. And just a notification that note that pilot hosts do not get any funding. They get all this support that Josephine was telling about, but no monetary support. So the piloting teams are the ones that get the grant from CommuniCity project, and the challenge hosts and the Replicator Cities do get the support from CommuniCity Consortium in form of different info events, manuals, these technical tools. So this is what we have providing for you. And fourthly, identify the boundaries of the technical solutions, and also bear in mind that there might be some ethical considerations you have to think about as well, since these are the vulnerable groups of our community. For example, taking photos during the pilots might be not that suitable, especially if those are disabled and the people who don't have, how would you say, consent for their actions. So they have this guardian that gives the consent, for example, for the test user status. And finally, be realistic when deciding the number of pilots per challenge. So this is all about the resources. So you can have, for us, it's really nice if you have many pilots, but we just want to make sure that you have enough resources to run these pilots within your cities. And maybe one more reminder what we mean by challenge. So that describes the problem that needs to be solved by the piloting teams, and you also have to kind of identify the need. Why do you present this challenge? Why it's important to your cities and communities? And the next one, there is a process, what we use for challenge formulation within City of Helsinki, but there are different models for different cities. And Virium is innovation company for City of Helsinki, so that's why we use this kind of a model where we closely kind of co-create also the challenges with the City of Helsinki. So we initiate the process by discussing with the city departments and their professionals and identifying what are their needs regarding their clients and their processes. And after that, we choose the most kind of best challenges which are most urgent or otherwise in scope of the project, and we kind of make sure that they have all the resources that they need. And after that, we move on to the negotiations with the potential pilot host and secure that they are involved and they have the resources needed and they do understand what is expected from them during the piloting phase. And after that, we finalize the challenge and confirm the number of the pilots when we know these resources. And all this is done really closely with the pilot hosts, so those that are hosting and running the pilots with our support. And it is really important to assess the resources so we secure that we are able to run the pilots that we commit to. And then in step 5, we launched the open call that includes the Helsinki challenges. So that is the process for Helsinki, how we formulate the challenges. So in close cooperation with the City of Helsinki departments and professionals. And next slide. Then if we just deep dive a bit to the agile piloting process that we apply in CommuniCity project and which has been developed by the Formulating Helsinki. So there you can see on the left that first there is a challenge that we have just been formulating, and then there is an open call where the city-specific challenges are published. So this where we publish them is a CommuniCity project webpage. And step 2, after closing the open call, there are expert juries that are nominated by the cities or the pilot host organizations. And we have a common evaluation criteria that every potential pilot is using. And after the evaluation is done, the contracts are signed between the so in Helsinki it would be Formulating Helsinki, for example, and in Amsterdam it would be Municipality of Amsterdam. And if it's OASC challenge, then OASC will sign the contract together with the piloting team. So cities do not actually sign any contracts, only the letter of intent that they kind of commit their resources and time for this piloting phase and project in general. And during the piloting phase, it's around 4 to 5 months tops. It can be also shorter. It depends on the solution. Does it need 2 weeks or 5 months? Depends on the piloting team and the kind of a maturity of the prototype they are testing. So in piloting, it's really important to apply co-creation methods. So the actual users of these solutions also have their saying. Do they like the solution? How they could make it better and how they might maybe drop off some functions and maybe replace them with others. So it's really important to have this real life piloting and co-create while this piloting is running. And in the end, after around 5 months, so regarding third round in May, the very latest, we have a wrap up where we evaluate the process, and there are also these reports, midterm and final reports that we ask from the piloting teams. And we do document all the learnings, and there are also other consortium partners that utilize these results in order to make research papers and more academic outcomes from this CommuniCity project. And maybe the next one, and I think this is the timeline. So as mentioned, we have been formulating the challenges all spring long. with the support of partnering cities, so Amsterdam, Porto, and Helsinki, and of course OASC, who is the coordinator. And as I mentioned, we have Amsterdam training workshop in June. So by this workshop, we actually need to finalize the challenges and more or less the idea of number of pilots per challenge. Because in August, we will polish off the challenge formulations and confirm the pilot numbers in order to have our website ready in beginning of September, because we assume we have a lot of information and content to put on our pages. So we do need to have early on all the materials, and also we have this open call platform that handles all the applications. So we also need to set that up early on in order it to be ready 10th September, 9 o'clock CET time, when the open call opens, and it closes, the open call runs until end of October, and it closes on 31st, 5 p.m. And in November, as mentioned, all the cities or pilot hosts can nominate their own expert juries. Usually there is 3 to 5 members, and the evaluation process is done online, remotely, through this open call platform that Forum Virium has already tested for 2 rounds. So it's quite easy, and there will be trainings in case you are jury members. So you are in good hands and no stress regarding the difficult softwares. And regarding the pilots, so they can actually launch already in end of November if the evaluation is finalized. And the very final month that the pilots can still run is May, but by 31st of May, they have to be finalized and final reports have to be submitted. And with that final report, the piloting teams also are able to have their second payment of the grant. So it will be paid first, 6,250 will be paid after signing the piloting contract, and the second payment will be done after the pilot is successfully concluded the very latest in end of May. And I think now it's time for Celia to give some nice examples from the first and second round of CommuniCity open calls. Go ahead, Celia, floor is yours.
Thank you. Yes, lots of talk about piloting and also good cases from Porto. So the title here is Pilot Case Examples from the First and Second Round, but actually I am sharing only the first round. First round pilot cases, we are about to have the second round finished, or half of the pilots from the second round are already finished and half will be finished like any day now. But anyhow, Porto was, Adib was telling about their pilots, which have been mainly focusing on elderly people of Porto, and they have had really good co-creation with the end users there. And now the another kind of partner city, Amsterdam, they have had really good cases also about AI cases. So one of them is this AI generated video, which is making the healthcare information more accessible. So basically it is about this, the piloting was about video avatar translation widget, which means that the City of Amsterdam Public Health website, they have this widget on their site, and people are able to choose one of these 3 ladies in the photo, and then the text on the side will be explained either in Dutch, English, or Arabic, and this avatar is telling about the site. So this has been very well received case in Amsterdam. And then, actually, am I able to Oh, yes. Another case from Municipality of Amsterdam is the so-called wildcard case, where the solution providers were able to propose any technological solution for any marginalized community. So we were giving a lot of freedom for the pilot teams to propose solutions that they think would be beneficial for the city of Amsterdam. And from all of those applications was chosen Tolki case, and it was all about empowering low literate citizens of Amsterdam with the help of AI. So basically, a local newspaper, together with this piloting team Tolki, they co-developed with the low literate citizens this solution, AI solution, that gives you very understandable summary of the long and complicated articles. So this AI pilot was very successful as well, and a very good example what we have been working on in CommuniCity pilots. Then we actually jump into Finland, Helsinki. And one of the challenges from the first round was what kind of technologies increase the safety of the home care clients, so clients of City of Helsinki who are receiving home care services. And out of the applicants, Palko Interactive was chosen, and their solution was tested together with the clients. The solution is the box on the right upper corner. It's a device, IoT device, using AI and radio wave technology. So no cameras, only radio wave technology, and it can detect if a person is present or moving, and also get some vital signs of the person. So basically, this device can make alerts to the municipality staff. For example, if person is leaving the home and if the person is identified to be one who needs assistance if he or she leave home, or maybe is not able, has not been getting up from the bed until certain time and is suspected to need help. So this pilot was done in Helsinki, a little bit different one from the AI cases mentioned previously. And yet another example from Helsinki. So the challenge was how the disabled can improve their skills by using virtual technologies. And the solution is a VR-based application using these MetaQuest headsets. The Finnish company called Control Reality has been developing this, and the development that was done in CommuniCity pilot was done together with the staff members of virtual services unit of disability, and also with the clients. The purpose of this solution is to enhance the skills of the disabled that they need to be more independent. So, for example, the cases that were identified and developed was how to ride a bus, how to do grocery shopping, and a job interview situation. So the disabled were able to practice these in a safe environment using the VR headsets. And actually 150 clients did participate in this co-creation and tested the solution, and the feedback was really positive, both from the staff members and the disabled. I think, yes, that was the last case that we have been doing, just to give some kind of understanding. So far on the first and second round, we are going to have 38 pilots to be finished soon. So there are other cases, but time is limited. But now,
Yeah, just to let you know, I posted to the chat the challenge descriptions for the Amsterdam, Helsinki, and Porto for the first round, in case you want to take a look what kind of challenges were originally created in order to get these kind of solutions. And also just to give you examples, and I also posted the web or the link for the manuals. So there are 2 manuals, one concentrating on the open calls. There are really nice practical hints how to, for example, formulate challenges, how to gather the evaluation jury, how to do dissemination. So please deep dive there if you are interested. And also same kind of a manual regarding piloting. I don't know, Silja, maybe a few words about the piloting manual, since you are the author.
I could do so. And one question to you, Anna-Mari, is that shall I end the recording before we go into the question and answers? Is that a better one? Not to
Yeah, let's just end it before we
yeah, okay. So about the piloting manual. So indeed, we are here to support you to be able to provide the open call challenges, and before the challenges, before you have decided which pilot teams to continue into the piloting, we are already prepping you into the piloting phase as well. So we have prepared a piloting manual which has really, really concrete examples. So you can go and have a look what kind of tools we are providing you. So there are a couple of meetings which are kind of mandatory to be able to manage a pilot. Like a kickoff meeting, midterm meeting, and final meeting, and we are providing you all the kind of agendas, templates for the memo, and all kind of like actual concrete tools, so that you are able to run the pilots very easily and not burdening your resources.